Deep in the ancient forest lies an empire, a citadel built of millions of
Their infrastructure is a marvel of engineering. Roads cleared and maintained to connect the citadel to its resources.
They are rich. Protein from hunting, sugar from farming. The Empire wants for nothing. At the heart sits the Empress. She has seen 20 winters.
The nurseries are overflowing. The future seems secure. The empire is at its peak.
Their borders are secure. Any intruder is met with a firing squad of formic acid.
They control a territory the size of a football field. They believe they are invincible.
But every empire has an end. The wind is changing.
It starts silently. A scout patrol does not return. Then another. Then another.
But every empire has an end. The wind is changing.
The enemy is not a giant. It is a ghost. Small.
The empire is arrogant. They look for monsters. They do not fear the dust beneath their feet.
The warning is sounded. Invaders at the gates. The Empire mobilizes for war.
They possess a superpower, the super colony. They do not fight each other. They act as one global organism.
They test the defenses. They don't overpower, they overwhelm. 10 against 1. The warning is sounded. Invaders at the gates. The Empire mobilizes for war. The Red Army assembles. Heavy infantry. Acid throwers. Collision. The Empire fights with discipline. The invaders fight with bodies.
The acid is devastating. One spray kills a dozen invaders. It seems the Empire will hold.
But math is against them. For every soldier the Empire kills, the super colony sends 10 more. They are drowning in enemies.
While the soldiers fight at the gates, the workers tend the farms. This is the Empire's weakness.
The invaders are smart. They flank the battlefield, climbing high to cut off the supply lines.
They do not want to farm. They want to consume. The Empire's food source is wiped out. They do not want to farm. They want to consume. The Empire's food source is wiped out.
Inside the citadel, the wait begins. The honeydew deliveries have stopped. War runs on sugar. Without high-energy fuel, the giant acid-spraying machines run out of power. The siege ring is complete. Nothing goes in. Nothing comes out. A desperate sortie. The elite guard tries to break the blockade. It is suicide. They are pulled down, pinned, and dismembered by the thousands. The gates are closed. The once mighty empire is now a prison. The barricades are useless. The invaders are so small, they simply walk through the cracks. They pour into the dark corridors like a brown flood. The castle has been breached. Underground, size is a curse. The giant red ants cannot maneuver. They are trapped in their own home.
Once pinned, they sever the neck. The giant is felled by 1,000 tiny cuts.
They spray their acid in panic, but in the tunnels the fumes have nowhere to go. They are gassing themselves.
The outer defenses have fallen. The order is given. Retreat to the royal chamber. Save the queen.
They do not stop to eat. They do not stop to rest. They march over the corpses of their victims.
The Royal Guard, the biggest, strongest warriors.
the final line of defense.
But bravery cannot stop a landslide. The sheer weight of the invaders crushes the line. The dam breaks. The last line of defense crumbles. The enemy is in the throne room.
She has ruled for 20 years. She has never seen an enemy. Until now. The attendants try to fight. But they are nurses, not warriors. It is a massacre. They swarm her like wolves bringing down a bison, climbing her legs, biting her joints. Gravity and numbers win. The empress falls, pinned by the weight of 1,000 bites.
They blind her first, cutting the antennae, severing her connection to the world. They do not just kill the past, they steal the future. The royal brood is carried away as food.
And with one final shudder, the heart of the empire stops beating.
With the queen dead, the chemical signal that binds the colony together simply evaporates.
The wealth of the empire, gathered over months of hard labor, is looted in an hour.
The throne does not stay empty for long. The super colony brings its own queens. Not one, but many. Without the engineers to repair the thatch, the waterproof roof fails. The citadel begins to rot.
The tunnels, once kept pristine by thousands of cleaners, are now consumed by mold and rot.
The gates are open. Scavengers and beetles move in to pick the bones of the city.
The last survivors wander into the cold. Without the warmth of the colony, they cannot survive the night. Nature does not mourn. The forest simply swallows the ruins and moves on. The Red Empire is gone. In its place, a new order rises. A regime with no borders. In the native world, neighbor fights neighbor. But the Red Ants had one queen. The super colony has thousands. If one dies, 10 more take her place.
They are efficient. Too efficient. They strip the land bare of resources to feed their endless numbers.
Native species stand no chance. Large or small, they are hunted to extinction.
Biodiversity collapses. The complex song of the forest falls silent. Only one note remains. Only the hidden survive. Living in the shadows. Terrified to move.
The conquest is complete. The Red Empire is history. The era of the super colony has begun.
The fungus bypasses the immune system. It grows directly into the brain, hijacking the controls.
She is no longer an ant. She is a puppet. The fungus compels her to climb, up, the death grip. She bites down with force she never used in life. And she waits to die. She dies, but the fungus inside her is just getting started. It feeds on her organs to fuel its final act.
A stalk rupts.
The position is perfect. Gravity carries the spores down. A carpet bombing of the colony below. Because they are genetically identical, they have no resistance. If it kills one, it can kill them all.
The super colony is decimated, not by an army of giants, but by a single, microscopic spore. But in the shadows, one spark remains. A princess who fled before the massacre. She has no servants, no soldiers. She must dig the first chamber with her own royal jaws.
She seals herself in.
In the dark she lays the first eggs. The sea.
She is starving.
Nanitics, the firstborn, small, weak, and timid. But they are alive.
The door opens. The survivors step out into a world that belongs to them again. Time passes. The weak firstborns die out, replaced by a new legion of strong warriors.
The hunters return. Protein flows back into the nest. The famine is over.
The invaders are scattered. Without their numbers, they are nothing. The forest belongs to the giants again.
A new citadel rises from the earth. Bigger, stronger, built on the lessons of the past.
Empires rise. Empires fall. Humans build with stone. Ants build with pine. The individual is fragile. The colony is immortal. It can be wounded, but it cannot be stopped.
This is the redwood ant, the builder, the warrior, the survivor. The battle is lost, but the war for survival never ends.
The empire has rebuilt. But success attracts a different kind of predator. One that does not want land, but labor.
The Amazon ant scout. She is looking for one thing. Pupae, the white cocoons of the next generation.
She has found a target. Now she must rally the raiding party before the scent fades.
Inside the slaver's nest, a strange sight. Black ants feeding red ants. Slaves keeping their masters alive.
The signal is given. We march! The raid begins. They are the Spartans of the undergrowth. Fast, armored, and terrifyingly organized.
They hit the defenders with the speed of a lightning bolt. Their sickle jaws pierce the brain before the defenders can react.
They use a propaganda pheromone, a chemical weapon that drives the defenders insane, turning sister against sister.
They do not want the territory. They want the children. A generation stolen in minutes. The raid is over. The slavers return home. For the stolen babies, life as they know it is over.
They dig the tunnels. They build the walls. They construct the very prison that holds them.
She is born, and the first face she sees.
This is the brainwashing. The master covers the slave in her own scent. You smell like us. You are one of us.
The slave does not know she is a slave. She works harder than she ever would in her own home.
They dig the tunnels. They build the walls. They construct the very prison that holds them.
She nurses the baby monsters, raising the next generation.
She is loyal to the death. She will fight a spider to protect the master who enslaved her.
They worship the Amazon Queen. They have forgotten their real mother. This is the only world they know.
She worked every day of her life for a lie.
But sometimes the brainwashing cracks. A slave refuses to feed the master. In the nursery, a silent massacre begins.
not by violence, but by neglect. And sometimes, neglect turns to murder. The nurse becomes the executioner. They tear open the cocoons, leaving the developing masters to rot in the open air. Studies show that slaves can kill up to 60% of the master's offspring. A secret war of attrition.
The masters sense something is wrong. The colony is not growing as it should.
Caught! A traitor in the ranks!
The punishment for rebellion is death. The master asserts control instantly.
With their own babies dying, the masters need more workforce. They must raid again and again.
It is a parasitic empire, powerful on the surface, but rotting from the inside due to the quiet rage of its slaves.
The drainage fails. The fortress becomes a well. The masters are trapped. Amazon ants are built for war, not survival. They cannot swim, they cannot dig, they simply drown. But the slaves, they remember. They are redwood ants, master architects. They know what to do. The ultimate irony. The slaves carry the masters to safety, saving the very tyrants who oppress them. The instinct is specific. Save the brood first. Even the masters are expendable compared to the future generation. They cling to the high ground. Wet, cold, but alive. Even here, on the brink of death, the hierarchy remains. The servants dry the masters. The queen is safe, shielded by a living wall of stolen daughters.
Without their slaves, the Amazon ants would have perished in the mud. They are the masters, yet they are the most helpless creatures in the forest.
The floodwaters recede, but a new danger rises. The masters have forgotten how to live. Evolution has played a cruel trick. Their jaws are perfect for murder, but useless for eating.
Hunger breaks the spell. When food is scarce, the slave feeds herself first.
The queen waits for a meal that never comes. The parasitic bloodline ends here. The slaves are the last ones standing. They clean up the mess and bury their masters. With no masters left to serve, the slaves are free, wandering into a world they barely remember.
The empire built on the backs of others collapses. Laziness is not a strategy. It is a death sentence.
When the soldiers die, the builders return. The carpenter ant.
She has no interest in war. She clears the dead to make way for the living.
They do not dig in the dirt. They build castles in the wood, transforming a dead tree into a living city.
She is a living chainsaw. She carves the galleries, grain by
Safe behind inches of solid oak, the queen rules in peace. No floods can reach her here.
They are creatures of the night, avoiding the heat and the conflict of the day. They are peaceful, but not weak. One snap of those jaws can sever a limb.
High above the old battlefields, they farm their gardens in
Her jaws are worn down to stumps. She has spent her entire life building a home that wasn't hers. A scent on the wind, not the smell of the Amazon masters.
But she finds them, her own kind. But to them, she is a stranger, an intruder.
The interrogation. Does she smell like a sister? Or does she still carry the stink of the slavers?
Past, the slavery scent has faded. Underneath, they recognize the blood of their own tribe.
For the first time in her long, hard life, she is not a tool.
She does not need to dig anymore. She does not need.
Her story is whispered in chemicals, a memory of the lost empire passed down to the new generation. They seal the gates, not against an army, but against the biting cold. The citadel goes into lockdown. They retreat deep underground, huddling together. A million tiny engines sharing their warmth.
Their bodies produce glycerol, a natural antifreeze. They don't just sleep, they become chemically frostproof.
In the wood, the giants are frozen solid, suspended in time.
Snow falls. A blanket of white silence covers the battlefield. History is buried. Above, the temperature drops to lethal levels. Below, life holds on by a thread.
The truce of winter. Predator and prey alike are forced to lay down their arms.
She waits in the dark, dreaming of the sun that will
The chemical antifreeze in their blood breaks down. The heart begins to pump faster. One wakes another, then another. A chain reaction of life rippling through the dark.
The gates are unbarred.
They are solar-powered batteries. They soak up the heat to charge their muscles before they can work.
The forest has prepared a feast, nectar and pollen to fuel the hungry colony.
The briefing begins. Repair the roof, find food, protect the queen. The mission is unchanged.
The pause is over. The Red Empire is back in business. And they are hungrier than ever.
The Empire is not a collection of individuals. They turn more soil than earthworms. They clean the forest floor. They plant the seeds of the future.
We build roads. They build roads. We fight wars. They fight wars.
We are not so different, the giants and the ants. But they possess a loyalty we often forget. No ant is left behind as long as there is food to share.
Egg. Larva. Pupa. Adult.
Builders, the invaders, the slavers, the giants. Each plays a role in the drama of the undergrowth.
Empires rise and fall, but the fortress of the ant endures, a monument to persistence.
They are the secret masters of this planet, the keepers of the soil, the true owners of the earth.
And they will be here long after we are gone.